All
All
right,
right, well,
guys. Meeting should start right now.
all right. Appreciate everybody coming. I know we were supposed to have had a community meeting last weekend. I do apologize. I slept from playing excessive amounts of Reign of the Kings, because I was running around chopping people's heads off, and that was really fucking fun. So I apologize for not being at the meeting last week, but I do plan on answering everybody's questions today, letting y'all know what's going on with the development team, and what direction we're heading, and some new features and some better updates, so that we are better keeping you guys up to date rather than looking for a change log and wondering what the fuck's going on. So, to get started, basically, one second. Uh, a little bit about Alpha. Pretty much, the guys and gals that was accepted into closed alpha have done a spectacular job of finding bugs, and updating the board or the bug tracker to let us know what's going on. You guys have done a fantastic job of that, to the point to where you fucking slammed the shit out of us. And most of those bugs have been fixed, by Sticker and the development team. So we greatly appreciate everybody that has been participating in Alpha. I know it seems like a lot hasn't been going on with Alpha. That's probably due to some most of the developers still being in school, and doing final exams, so forth. Um, we've had some changes in the development team. We've got people with personal life issues going on that we wish them the best and hope that they can get that resolved, and come back and be able to focus on getting some stuff done. But for the ultimate time, a lot of people have been talking about closed beta, who gets in, do we have a date set, and I think I covered this in our last meeting, and I've talked to a couple people as far as what my intentions with beta is going to be. And so everyone, whether it be law enforcement, EMS, the fire department, staff, anyone that has been accepted to Alpha already, and anyone that has been denied for Alpha will be automatically placed in beta. That roughly puts about 700 to 800 people to be authorized to be in beta. So that's going to help with, a lot more role play. We plan on probably accepting some more applications for alpha, so that some more people gets on there, and RPs. We've got some work to do on the EMS side. We've not even really kind of started there. We did a custom uh, medical system by Boolean, in which I think we're going to totally gut that. We're going to test putting CSE in, see how that runs for the medical staff to use. But don't get your hopes up. It's still going to be in beta. I'm at testing, and it is up to if CSE will work and not cause issues. Because right now we have no issues with, the lagging of buildings, the LODs, and so forth, and we don't need, another system to, drag people's frame rates down and so forth. Um, let's see, the PR team. A lot of people have been asking what happened to the PR team, and basically I shut down the PR team due to the fact that it was causing a lot of issues with not being able to communicate well with one another. The PR team was kind of, supposed to focus on, doing updates for, our Twitters and Facebooks and all that other stuff. And really, they didn't know what was going on the development side because, obviously they didn't have side. So what I've done is merge the PR team to the development team so that we will now be releasing more weekly updates updates and doing video releases, dev updates, kind of like we did back in A3L. We sit there and made videos while they made videos of stuff that never happened. We'll go on to make videos that actually are in the game, that is working and so forth. Um, I've got Sticker here that's going to talk about development, where we're heading with that. So I will give this to him to let him talk about where he's going, what's going on, and so forth.
Well, thanks, Mike. Well, first of all, as Mike just explained, a lot of the developers have been kind of inactive lately for different reasons, mostly real life, personal issues. I myself have been LOA for the past 2 weeks or so, but I just returned yesterday, so I'll be back in gear and trying to, get some structure going back into the development team. So basically, I mean, that's the way that's impacted the alpha. It's been we haven't really released any updates for the past, 2 weeks, I think, or something like that. And like this is sort of the time where we're going to resume the constant updating of the alpha. So for the next few weeks, we'll keep pushing updates. The next updates we're going to be focusing most on is the civilian side. So basically, the company system is something we want to. We already started with it. We have a large portion of that working already, but we want to sort of push in more aspects like the oil rigging, factory systems, and getting all that sorted out. Because when that happens, we can get this realistic economy we're working towards to actually start working in game, which we think is pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, basically the idea is that you're going to be able to harvest a bunch of stuff like oil, for example. You'll be able to take that to a processing center and then sell it in your gas station. We got a lot of those stuff, sort of the basics of that working, but it's not really, since we don't really have an oil rig implemented yet, we can't get that working. And the same at the same time, we want to get the factories working, so that way players will be able to produce their own cars, weapons, clothes, you name it, and sell them in their shops. We actually already have a shop system working in the alpha right now. So once we start expanding on that, we'll be able to see a more and more player-driven economy, which is the aim on the civilian side. And apart from that, we want to start getting some civilian activities in apart from the company system. So we were looking at gambling, getting a casino in, paintball, some other stuff, just basically fun things for civilians to do. Also, bank robbery and things like that, illegal activity, drugs, and actually having some drugs affect you in some way that gives you a benefit in order to, give drugs a market value so that you can sell them to other players. And, things like getting a meth lab in game is also something we're aiming for. And the priority of this is also pretty high. Like once we get some of the company stuff finished, like the factory system and the oil rig, this is what we're going to start moving into. And apart from that, if we're looking at the police and EMS side, for those of you who are in the alpha, which is quite a bit of the people in here, I think, you'll see that the police system's actually pretty. It's not finished, but it's probably the system out of the civilians and EMS and police. That's probably the system that's the furthest progressed because we got the police database working, we got most of the prison system and judge system and all of that working. I think there was an issue, they still need working light bars and sirens or something like that, but for the most part the police system is it's come pretty far. For the EMS, as Mike said before, we're looking at putting CSE in. We're still not sure, we're still discussing if that's going to be like what we'll use finally, but we'll probably put it in at least as a placeholder, provided it doesn't cause any issues for any other systems. Like it needs to be able to go in there smoothly without causing issues. So yeah, that's the next step for EMS right now. But yeah, ideally I'd want to have a custom system built so that we can control it and add features as we like. And yeah, I mean that's basically the development update side of it. For the beta, we want to look at moving into beta once we have all of the main parts of the mod implemented. So once we have a stable economy, the company system finished, we have the most of the EMS and police systems also. So that way, it moves on to more sort of at testing the features rather than adding in features, so to speak. And I mean, I can't give a date on the beta so far, but I think people looking at the alpha right now, they'll find beta will happen sooner than they think, because alpha doesn't look even close to completion right now, because there's nothing for civilians to do almost, because we don't have the company system finished. But as I was saying before, the company system is probably closer to completion than it actually looks, because the only thing we need is to get a company system going and so on, or like the factory system and the oil rig. After that's in, we'll have a working company system, and at that point we'll be pretty close to a beta. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I have to say.
All right, awesome. One of the things that I was looking at doing that other communities has that I thought was really cool was like a wiki type that players can go, they can take a look at um, you know how to download the mod, how to go about doing legal things, illegal things, and so forth. But I never actually jumped on it. But an individual came to me, Ricky Wong, and mentioned, "Hey, I want to do something for the community," and it happened to be the wiki, so it's like, that's interesting. So here is a screenshot of what he's been doing. He's doing a wiki for the Takistan Live server, which hopefully will be finished, fixed, and back up within the next day or so. And also, once Crystal Shores is more developed and more solid, we'll start making a wiki for Crystal Shores. Um, Ricky is going to be the person leading up the wiki team. So if anybody's interested in helping him, uh, whether making tutorial documents, videos, blah blah blah, reach out to him directly, and he'll be the one to uh, get you on the wiki team and get you something to do and so forth. So appreciate everything that you're doing, Ricky. That's awesome what you're doing, and I look forward to being able to fully release this once it's done, and having a more clear path for new players to be able to have a resource to go to, rather than always going to support, which will hopefully alleviate some of the stress that players of having a wait time of trying to get questions answered. The wiki can hopefully offset some of that time, and so forth. And that's pretty much it, guys. A lot is going on in the background. A lot of people have been talking about how nerds are doing and so forth, and you see these other communities that are up and running off of others mod files and or server files. Making something custom from start to finish isn't a 1 or 2 month thing. It takes a lot of time. Just a model itself of a building takes 1 to 2 weeks to be completed. So, the guys are working their asses off. No one's getting paid. So, I mean, they're having to do this when they get home from school, whether they get home from work, so forth. So, I mean, these guys are really busting their humps to get this stuff done. So, yeah, what's up?
Okay, just a quick question. You were mentioning about accepting new alpha people. Are you going to accept them from the current denied ones? Or are you going
Yes,
to, okay, so nobody has to reapply or anything. You'll just go through the
correct.
denied okay.
Yep. Basically, the ones that's gotten denied will accept those, and they'll be notified and so forth. But that's pretty much it, guys. I'll do some questions, and we'll go from there. So, Vincent. Yep. Go ahead, Vincent.
Yeah, hello. I have a question. I've been watching some videos and I noticed how you can't see player names when you're in game. How about, like, let's say someone VDMs or something? How would you know if they did something, or how would it work out?
We have a system that will be able to tell on the back end that player killed this person. It won't be something in game that you can see, but our support moderators and admins will be able to see what happens in game. So there's a log of everybody's what they're doing in game.
So, like, if we report them, like, you'll be able to find them?
Yeah, so basically, if you say, okay, I just got VDM'd at 3:23 p.m., you go to support and say, hey, I was killed at 3:23 p.m. Well, they're going to go look into the logs and look for your name, and okay, well, I have a log here of Sam Neckaboy tased and ran me over with a vehicle at 3:23 p.m. So we pull Sam into the support channel and be like, Sam, what's up? What happened? And so forth.
All right, thank you.
Yep, no worries. Anybody else have any questions? Go ahead, Tyler.
Well, I'm all for you guys with alpha and such, and I don't mind waiting. But one of the biggest things I've noticed, and I've had people, mention to me before, is your company system and all that. It's great, I love the concept. It's just it kind of worries me, so to speak, because I mean, like what I'm trying to say is basically I don't feel that we have enough people, and not necessarily saying it doesn't take off to get a full server. It's just it seems like it's a very slow process and it slows down everyone in time. Let's say if there's 20 people in the server and gas is starting to run out, then is there going to be a system to implement like an auto refill situation where we don't have to wait on players to do stuff for us, because there's not those players can't be on 24/7 providing us with the stuff that we need. So is there going to be NPC stuff around that we can go to and use that, or have y'all thought about something like that?
Well, as far as gas stations, a player doesn't have to be online for you to, fill up, or you go to somebody's store to buy clothing. That person doesn't have to be online. There is the ability for you to purchase an item if he has it available for sale. So it's basically like you go to an NPC, you can purchase that item and go about your business. But that money that you purchase that clothing will go into his business account funds, which will be there and so forth. So it's really kind of like if you're online, you can RP and run your business. If you're offline, you put up items for sale like you would when you're there and so forth. So we've been talking about having some like admin ran items, such as like a gas station that would have unlimited fuel, but it would be high as fuck. So it would push you to, go to the player ran items to do your purchasing and stuff. So we have thought about that. Is that going to answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Jonathan Riley.
Yeah, just a couple of questions on behalf of EMS, really. One of them is there have you got a date on the EMS uniforms and such yet?
I know that Reg has made one. I don't know if it's been implemented. I mean, technically it should have already been in, so I will make a note to look at that.
Okay, and another thing, would it be possible to get uh, some special vehicles for the command members of EMS?
For what? For y'all to drive
Uh,
around in?
yeah.
Um, I think we talked about having like different types of vehicles for, like, for instance, like an F-450, uh, you know, a search and rescue vehicle, stuff like that. I know that we talked about doing a Tahoe model and stuff like that. Is there a particular vehicle in mind that y'all are thinking about, or is just one in
It
general that
was.
y'all want?
We were looking at the Chevrolet Tahoe.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's not a problem to put it in. I can get, uh Noah to do a mock-up of a skin and throw it y'all's way and see what y'all think about it.
Okay, and just one more question.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to get a couple of more EMS tags on the TeamSpeak?
EMS tags? I mean, how many of them motherfuckers you need?
Just really for the fire chief and the search and rescue chief.
Um, sure. Get with Tensta and get him a design, and we'll add you some more TeamSpeak icons.
I'll just I'll look for you guys. Just send me info what you need in them. I'll make it happen.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Riley?
No, that's it, Baxter.
Okay, brother. Justin Porter.
Two things. One, I know we've been talking about it in EMS. Is there any way to implement a like how the desk system is for the ambulances and stuff? Is there a way we can implement something for the helicopters for like the search and rescue guys, and just so we can start figuring out who the hell can fly and who can't? Because
You talking about a spawn point for
yeah,
helicopter? Yeah.
can we? Is there a
We'll
way
get
to
that.
get that in there?
Yeah.
Because and like people are bitching. I've heard some people bitching about helicopter. Me personally, it don't matter which one until we have our helicopters that we'll be using. I mean, any helicopter will be fine, just so we can start seeing who can fly and who can't fly.
Yeah, the main reason why helicopters wasn't put in initially was the fact the whole map wasn't done, and we didn't want people, going off, the reservation per se, and just flying on empty space, and not seeing anything, and talking shit. Oh well, this is half-assed done, and blah blah blah. So that's the only reason why helicopters haven't been put in. But most of the map, Kirko and the few guys have done a really good job on. I know the northeast or northwest part has been put in. Hopefully, I think he said within a month's time, 4 weeks or so. The rest of it, the map should be in as a base for us to have something to test on. So hopefully that will be released soon. But yeah,
Right, and
we'll
then
get you some spawn points.
and then also, has anybody been in contact with whoever's doing the fire script? Do we know how far he truly is? If he's even alive still?
Scotty, he is MIA. So if the medical team wants to do a search and rescue to find out where the fuck he went, I have no clue. I don't know where he is. So this is two people now that have made a fire script and fucking have gone MIA.
Well, the first guy didn't go MIA. He's
Well, he went.
yeah, he went bye-bye for a while.
Yeah.
I think there's some curse to that fire script. I certainly don't want to start making it.
All right. Let's see. Anybody else got any questions? All right, cool. Well, here we go. All right, Tyler, go ahead.
I know this is on most people's minds, and I'm pretty sure we all understand that it's not a priority for you guys. It's Crystal Shores' first priority. But when it comes to Tacky, how far are you guys honestly planning on going with it? I mean, so far it's it's solid to play. It's fun to play. But I mean, I'm just wondering like how more in depth are you guys willing to go with Tacky? Because I mean, there's certain people that just want to play that, and they're here in the community side they used to play Tacky, and there's others who want to play on Crystal Shores too. So I just wanted your thoughts on that one.
It started off with, we were talking about some ways for us to make something for, community guys to be able to play and have fun with. And a couple of the guys said, hey, man, it would be really cool to have a tacky stand life. And I'm like, what the fuck is a tacky stand life? And so we Bullion took it upon himself to make the Altus Live 4.0 and merge it to the Tagistan server map, whatever you want to call it. And obviously ran into some issues and we're rebuilding it. I think Adam is redoing it along with some help with some other folks. But as far as how much time we're going to put in it, I mean, obviously it's not going to be the same as what we do with Crystal Shores, but we do plan on being able to maybe have some people that is interested in keeping it alive and doing small updates here and there. But I don't plan on letting it go to the wayside. If we're going to start something, we're going to continue to let it run until no one's playing it, and then obviously we'll shut it down. But I'm not going to throw all our dev resources to do something for Takistan while our primary is Crystal Shores.
So all right.
Does that kind of answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody else? Someone poked me. I guess they didn't want to ask this question, but what are some in-game items as civilian related would y'all like to be able to do? Obviously, I mean, it needs to be within Arma's abilities, but what are some things that y'all would like to see? And y'all can type this in bottom of the channel instead of just talking. But what are some civilian activities that y'all would like to see in game? Real role players, right? Okay. So basically, sticker, what we've been talking about, is pretty much right on with what people's wanting.
Yeah, I mean, we were already since a long time back planning on paintball because it's easy to implement in Dharma, and I mean, racing and things like that could definitely be done.
Yeah.
Wow.
Naked NPC. Okay. Wow. All right. So some of the things that we talked about doing, obviously, was paintball, having a dirt track racing with motorcycles that you can, possibly gamble on, whether which racer actually, finishes first and so forth. Obviously, casino games, blackjack, slots, roulette, Keno, Wheel of Fortune. We looked at doing maybe a horse racing track to where the players riding the horses would be able to actually be the ones riding the horse. So you can bet on whether 1 through 6 horses actually finish. We are looking at obviously a Grand Prix racing track so that you can have a racing league and you'd have an area for garages to store your vehicles and work on your cars, maybe a system to be able to upgrade cars to make them go faster or slower. Not sure if that can be readily done, but we also talked about doing a drag strip. As far as pink slips, Sticker, have we talked about? I guess if we're selling cars to one another, I guess you could give a car to someone. Is that an option if we did like a drag strip and somebody wanted to do pink slips? Have an option for pink slip, give car to said individual.
I mean, yeah, I don't see any reason why that wouldn't be possible. No.
All right, that'd be cool. All right, let me note that down.
I mean, yeah, for racing and things like that, even paintball, we're actually doing like systems for them so it won't be you just show up with your car and just say ready, set, go and drive. It will be like a system that that keeps track of who wins and puts everyone on the starting line and stuff like that.
Yep, Vincent. We will have UFC fighting that will be in. We're trying to look at lessening the punching to actually killing each other. Once we get that back in, we'll put the ring in and allow you guys to knock the fuck out of each other. Trenda, question.
Teddy was first. He said it a few lines up.
Teddy.
So Trenda can go first.
Well, mine's just a quick question for the development team. Are you working on female models and will they be out by beta?
Kazaran was working on a female model. Cable has a female model as well. I don't know the exact date and when they will be done, but I do know that the models have been made. They've just got to put and get it into actual armor. So I don't know when it will be done, but it should be. I would think it should be readily around beta time.
All right, thank you.
All right. How much funding is like the EMS and PD going to receive?
Basically, they will get a government loan to start out with. Basically, there's going to be a Senate system to where laws can be voted on and so forth, and budgets will be one.
Okay, thank you.
And that's going to cover, police vehicles being purchased, uniforms, weapons, everything that, police and EMS and fire department are going to need will come out of that budget. So an actual officer, playing regular armor, you always go to an NPC and you have to gear up and that comes out of your wallet. Well, in our model, all that stuff is furnished by the police department. So, they'll have an area where you go, like your locker room or something, or you go downstairs to the inventory room where someone says, okay, I'm giving you here's your pistol, here's your taser, here's your uniform, here's your shoes, whatever. All that stuff is going to be issued to you, and so forth. So, like if you got one guy that's crashed 5 vehicles, the department's going to start asking, okay, is this someone that we really want on our department? Because he's now cost us, several hundred thousands of dollars that is not within the budget.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, no worries. You can already talk, Justin.
I've been joking around with the EMS about this, and they know about my plan. But is there going to be a way once, like further in, when we have a lot of people? Obviously, at the start, we're not going to be able to do it. But is there going to be a way for like the fire, the EMS, and stuff to where we can have a civilian person? Because I have like one of the funnest ideas for a civilian character, but I can't obviously do it while I'm working as a medical.
What do you mean? You talking about having 2 lives or something?
Yeah, as a civilian and a for like the fire and the police and stuff, the medical.
Well, I mean, everybody's technically a civilian, so if you're not working at the police department and you're just riding around in a car, then you're technically a civilian.
It's the off-duty officer.
Oh
If
no
you're
no
a cop.
no no!
Well, if you're a cop.
I'm talking because the things that I want to do, and I've joked about like to the EMS group
Don't
about
save them, for the love of God.
it.
I want to fucking set people's houses on fire. I mean,
But obviously I won't be able to do what I want. So is there gonna be a way to where people like me that are in the medical field that obviously can't do that type of stuff, are we gonna be allowed to have a second civilian
no.
per se,
No.
or no? Okay.
You
No
basically,
second. No
if you
double
want
R.
to, dress up in drag, and participate in the Saturday night drag queen competition, and you don't really want your EMS people to know about it, I advise you to put on like a wig or something. Okay, nobody got that. Sorry.
Basically,
I
don't get
did,
caught.
but I'm too hangover to laugh.
Basically, if you want to do criminal activity, you need to, make sure you don't get caught or, somebody rats on you, to affect your abilities to participate in EMT, PD, and stuff.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
The only thing about that, Ivan, is that would be a total fucking, all-out war. Let's shoot everybody. Yeah, the purge. That was what I was looking for.
I have a question.
Go for it.
There was talk when I first got into Nerds about a stretcher.
Yep.
For EMS. Is that still planned?
Yeah, Jonesy is still has on his list is a stretcher that will go in and out of his ambulance that will allow a player to be attached to it. So, like if you have a guy that's been shot on the ground, you don't want to move him or have him walk, whatever. You roll the gurney over there, and you look at the player, you tell him place on stretcher because it's within a certain vicinity. It will move it to that, and then you can put him in the back of the ambulance. Yes, that is on our list to do.
Roger, thank you very much.
Yep, no worries, bro. Anybody else got anything? Tyler, go ahead.
I think Pat's before me.
Oh, I can't remember.
Go ahead, Tyler.
You guys are mentioning budgets and etc., and I'm assuming that's probably going to be pushed in with the government. I've noticed it on the forums. People talking about parties, but y'all probably seen it in Arma 2. I know back in the old Arma 2 Island Life days, the governor could run taxes, and essentially he could jack up taxes, and that would only fund his wallet. However, what about something like to where, like, let's say you have a governor, but like taxes are split through, there might be like a 10% tax, but in that 10% it's split to your other 2 departments, and that's how they get their funding. Like, like 5% goes to EMS, 5% to PD, etc.
Basically, how? Go ahead, Sticker.
Well, I mean, the way the government funds work is not that the the governor or the president or whoever can just take that out. He like everything that the president or governor does. I don't know. What are we having, Mike? What is
Just
our
governor.
governor? All right. He won't be able to do anything without something being voted for in the Senate first. So it, everything sort of needs to be either in a budget or yeah, I mean that's basically how it works already. Like the taxes come in, they get placed in the government funds, and the budgets will be already set, so they will be like automatically placed in the departments, and for the like police or EMS command to spend on supplies and stuff. So it's not like the governor can just withdraw funds from the government funds.
All right.
All right, I'm back.
Ivan's up.
Go ahead, Evan. Hello? Ivan? No worries. Anybody else got a question? I don't want to keep
Sam
you guys
Fields.
for here. All right, Sam, what's up?
Brilliant. Just a quick one, Mike. Is there anywhere we can see, like I'm not sure if there's actually one already on the forums hidden. Is there like a roadmap, where we can see what's getting dev next, what's planned for the future, what's right around the corner? Because I know there's loads that you guys are working on. Like there's obviously the more job systems, EMS, cops, racetrack, just as an example. Is there anywhere we can see like a sort of set plan for that? I mean, if not, I think that if we can get that down, it just helps increase transparency. Because I feel that some people occasionally don't actually know what's going on. Like they feel that development's on pause, which obviously isn't what it is. You guys are all working your bloody socks off, but no one really knows what you guys are doing.
As far as a roadmap, we do have a roadmap that is on our development thread that is got a lot of shit on it, of what's going on, what's needed, blah blah blah. I don't know if we can make a public version of that to share. Because we may think of one thing and then we're like, no, we don't want to do that. So I don't want to like show something and we don't we scrap it. So I mean it's kind of hard to show what we're thinking about doing and releasing it to show you that. And that's the reason why we have the change log and so forth. What I thought about doing was making like a ability for people to go to like a website or something or log into the website and have the ability to make a suggestion, kind of like the racing, the paintball and stuff like that, and members would be able to upvote that item, and once it maybe reaches a certain level, we say, okay, the community has asked for this, they've reached a minimum point of us to actually put it in the game, and development team would look at it and say, okay, can we make this happen? Will it be within the restrictions of ARMA to actually work without any issues? We thought about that. A green light for nerds? What do you mean? Like a stop sign?
You can green light armor mod. It doesn't work like that. He's talking about the Steam green light thingy.
What are you talking about, Lenny? You can talk. Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool.
Am I
Anybody else?
next?
Who is that?
It's me, Ivan.
Yeah, go ahead, Alvin.
Well, I missed the beginning of the meeting, so the usual question, do we have some estimation date?
We do not have a date for beta. That's going to be a good ways away, depending on how quickly we can get stuff rolled out and tested in alpha.
Awesome, thank you.
Yep, no worries. I did announce in the beginning that we will be going through the alpha denied applications and accepting and putting some more people into alpha. Yep, Bob Jones.
Is there any estimation date on the patch that you guys have been working on?
Huh?
Like you guys have been compiling all the updates, and then you're planning on putting them out at a later date, right?
My mind is not working right now. So you're saying an update on what we're doing right now?
I mean, an update is in like you guys have been working on the server without putting out updates. You planning on like I heard that you're compiling them all into one update and then releasing it all at once.
Yeah, basically, Steeker doesn't like having to, constantly make an update just because he did this, and
Yeah.
this. He likes to, combine things together and then make an update. Okay, we changed this, fixed the vehicle lighting, so forth, and we did the oil rig, and we don't want to, keep on, doing one-line changes and updating that. So now that Steeker's back from his leave of absence of schoolwork and so forth, you'll start seeing more change logs coming about and some more activity going on.
Okay.
Yes, school is for nerds, smart nerds, that is. Yeah, possibly. I mean, we can look at, if it's um, a change that is going to affect something, then obviously, yeah, we'll update it. But if it's not something, that is a major change, it's going to get not posted until more stuff is done. Vincent, go ahead.
I have a question for jail time. If you get arrested or anything, is it going to be something like crazy, like 8 hours or something, or is it going to be something, since you're playing a video game, it's going to be like, let's say maximum whatever hour you choose?
That you choose? No.
No, you like this. You guys have like. There should be a max. Like, let's say you do a violation, but you exceed it. Like, it shouldn't be 8 hours. Like, you shouldn't be punished for playing a video game. It should be something like more like realistic, because you are playing a game, but you should be punished for doing a crime.
I am not sure exactly all of the times that has been came up with by the Department of Justice, but law enforcement is not going to be the ones that hands out the actual sentence times. They can only apply charges to you. So you will go in front of a judge, and that judge is going to hear your case, and they will be the one that sentences you. So it's kind of like a third party that's neutral in the situation, that you have the opportunity to have your lawyer represent you, or if you just want to represent yourself, you can do so at that time. But as far as sentencing and so forth, I know that there is a maximum sentence to where if you are executed or so forth, then you are pretty much put into death, put to death, and you literally have to change your character name and so forth, because you can't play as uh, Pat Farrell or whatever and so forth. So
All right. Thank you.
yep. Ziff had a question. Sorry, Ziff, I skipped over you. Go
No,
ahead.
it's all good, bro. It's all good. In regards to CSE, I know that isn't a mod that you have a lot of power over. It's just one of those that you kind of just have to put it in and hope it works. So hypothetically, if you put it in and it's not conflicting and everything is working, how much power do you have to change, say, like the configs, like the damage values or stuff like that, if you know what I mean?
You can't.
Yeah, you can.
CSE guys don't give permission.
There's certain levels that you can change as far as how much damage it takes and so forth, that you can change those. There's APIs that you can write to communicate. So for instance, you want to have a civilian side to where back in, I think, A3L or whatever, you would literally be riding in your car and hit a bump and you would get damaged. Well, we can make an API, we could put it in a civilian shop for Advil or, a leave that would, take that, and it would take that pain away. So you could have abilities to, take the small damage that you receive, so that you're not always having to run to a medic. There is
Perfect.
that.
That's exactly what I was wondering.
Yeah, there is the abilities to do that. From working with the CSE guys, they're pretty good at helping doing things, but the only thing they don't is if you actually go into their code and change things, they don't allow that. But there is abilities to change certain numerals and so forth, of what level of damage has to be done before it triggers damage in game. So
Yeah, because with CSE, I don't want to be another morphine dispenser.
Yeah,
so yeah,
right.
adding some sort of painkillers that are readily available to civilians would be
Absolutely.
amazing. Awesome, thank you very much.
Yep, no worries. Who else? Anybody got questions? What? What up, Dylan? Hello?
Dylan said he's gonna type it out because he has people
Okay.
sleeping.
Let's see. Austin, go ahead.
So you talked about like the judge and how you said you're gonna. You said that, right?
Yep.
Okay. I was just wondering if like every single case is gonna be handled with a judge because.
Yes, it will.
I know. Okay.
So basically what's happened is if a judge is not online and a police officer arrests you and sticks you in jail, you will sit in jail for up to an hour. And when that happens, then you will have the ability to have like a bond per se to release you from jail. However, those crimes that they originally put you on you will still be, waiting to be processed when a judge logs in. So what's going to happen is a judge is going to log in, see that he has cases to announce, and if you're not in jail, then he's going to, send you a message, send the police to come pick you up or whatever, to bring you back to court for your crimes. And if you don't come, then he's going to add a bench warrant and add more things to your sentence, and so forth. Let's see, Robert.
Yeah, quick question. Have you guys thought about changing the night-day cycle at all? Because right now it's straight up 24 hours, but that just means some people will be limited to certain times. Like if they play at the same time every day, it'll always be nighttime.
It should always cycle.
Because like on Pakistan, like it's sped up like I think double time, so you get night and day. Whereas like right now on Crystal Shores, you go there and you play at the same hours every day. It's always going to be the same, time wise, evening and whatnot.
Well, when I played, I mean, I would see daylight, nighttime, and back daylight. Unless something has changed to cause it to stretch out longer, I'll have somebody take a look at that.
Yeah, like when the server doesn't reset, like it actually goes full 24 hours. So you'll be standing there waiting until day for 12 hours.
Yeah, like standard Arma cycle is 24 hours. So, but yeah, that's actually true. If you don't speed it up, which we haven't done, it will be, as you're saying. So we should probably look into that.
Okay. Let's see. Tyler, go ahead.
One of my big questions is really for weather. I think everyone's probably noticed this if they've played Crystal Shores and Tacky in general, is that the fog is a really big issue at times because literally it cuts view distance down to probably 100 meters. And while I know that doesn't bother some people, it's overall a not very good experience for the entire, like everyone in general. Especially like with Takistan, I know one of the biggest issues was when fog rolled in, it kind of screwed over people like NATO because you couldn't see anything at all, and like it's kind of bad. And also on Crystal Shores, I mean, the fog in general, it just seems a lot more prevalent than other servers. I mean, I've had fog more here than I have played on other servers.
Well, the only thing about the fog, is the fact that fog in real life. I mean, it's hard as fuck to see, and it adds to the realism. I mean, if we just make it to where everybody can see everything, there's no weather related issues. It really is. It really takes the realistic out of the situation.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Is there any way to code there to be different levels of fog? So, some days it might be foggier than others.
It's completely random.
It's not nothing that we're doing. It's
okay.
Well, you can manually set the weather to different rain levels or fog levels and things like that. So it's possible, but Arma does also do like randomizes the weather, so you can't like completely control it, but you can at specific times you can set the weather to different values.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was asking. I mean, I don't care if there's fog, but it's really annoying if you're in Takistan, which is probably like 100. You're talking 100 degrees easily Fahrenheit, and I mean it's the middle of the day, and then bam, there's fog all around you almost instantly. It's kind of annoying. I mean, I don't care if we have fog. I'd just like to see it at more realistic times, like after rain
mornings
and such.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can look into that.
Yeah, in terms of Pakistan and fog, actually a really cool idea. I'd like to talk to someone about it later.
Well, I mean, as far as Takistan, Adam has a script that is going to make sandstorms happen to where you can't fucking see shit for like in front of you. So that's gonna be cool. It's not going to happen in Crystal Shores, but the Takistan little thingy, it's going to have sandstorms. All right, Kit, my executioner.
Can we get some sort of server restart on Crystal Shores, like every 12 or 24 hours, just to get rid of all the trucks that sort of end up in the spawn?
Yeah, we can set a restart script up for it. Usually we're always on there and we can just, see when things happen. Usually I've just been kind of, going off of somebody will put me and say, hey, we need to restart, and I just restart it for them. But yeah, we can get a set schedule.
Awesome.
Steak. the trucks still bug out? What do you mean they bug out?
Essentially, when one person buys the big tanker truck, it spawns like 50 of them, and they just
Oh, no
literally scatter the entire place. I think Lenny took a picture and threw it in the shout box earlier.
Okay, well, I thought that somebody was just buying that mini and just leaving them.
They actually just spawn there, and you have to actually buy them and drive them away, and they just keep spawning there until they pretty much are about 100 meters from where they're supposed to spawn.
That sounds like Jones's
Yeah.
script's messed up.
No, that's I know about that issue. It's like in the respawn script, it's not detecting the distance. Like it checks in like a 6 meter radius or something, and then it spawns if it's not within that. But the point is the truck shop is getting removed, or like that entire car shop is being removed within like a week or so, because we're replacing it with the car dealership that companies will need to set up. So actually, all NPC stores would be removed eventually.
Yep. And moved into buildings and stuff run by people. Anybody else got any questions? I know this has been almost an hour meeting, so all right, Austin, go ahead.
So there's gonna be a garage to pull out cars and stuff, right? Like in other servers. Will there be a garage?
They will be a garage, whether it be at, possibly at your house or at certain locations. What I do plan on having is if you go to a garage to store your vehicle, it will remain in that garage even if you go across town and try to pull it out. You're not going to have it in your inventory. It's going to be at the garage where you left your vehicle. Because what's happened on other servers is somebody will put their car in over here, they'll ride and try to get their car back out and so forth. And it was really fucking annoying as fuck. That happened. Also, if you have a damaged vehicle and you put it in your garage and you pull it out and it's magically brand new again, yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. You put a broken car in, it's going to come out broken.
All right. So I had one more question about the garage.
Yep.
Is there any way if there's gonna be located garages, if there's like a way to make like the code thing so if it sits there for a certain amount of time it'll disappear so it can't just like block everyone, or
You mean basically say if somebody's on the server and they wreck their car and it's on the side of the road, you want it to be cleaned up? Is that what you're saying?
no. So like some people will spawn their car at garage and they just walk away and leave it there and no one else can get their car out. Is that gonna happen, or?
Well, you just call a tow truck company and have them come impound their car, and then that owner's going to have to pay for that car to be taken out of the impound. And if they don't pay for it, then the impound lot gets to sell that car to maybe a used car dealership for the amount that is owed for the storage fee. So basically, everything in game has a cycle of, if a player leaves a car, well, instead of an admin coming and doing a cleanup script, a tow truck company would come and tow that vehicle to their facility and store it. Somebody crashes a vehicle, they can come and grab that car and go scrap it for metal. And so forth. So we're trying to make it to where everything has to be done and has a pro and con to things in game. And what if a tow truck is not available? Then obviously somebody needs to make a company and go buy a tow truck. Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
You mentioned before that EMS can't, or anybody that has a government job cannot have like a job or anything similar to that, right?
That is based on the department. Say, for instance, if you're running EMS, if you want your members to only be full-time and can't have a part-time job, that's up to you. That is not an admin decision. That's all based on how you want to run your department. If you want to allow your people to have part-time jobs and they can go, work with somebody else, I'm fine with that. People have like 3 or 4 different jobs in the real world as it is, so it's all based on who's commanding that department and if they want to allow you to do it. There's no restrictions on admins or us developing the game.
Would there be an option to have a government, like I guess, like someone controlling government towing, including government fueling and such?
Basically, we can have a gas station at like we can put a gas station down for EMS and the police station and stuff like that, to where the chief of police can purchase gas from a company, and they come and fill that gas up, and it doesn't deduct anything from the players that or cops that fills up.
Yeah. What about towing? Are we allowed to have our own tow truck as EMS?
EMS, no. PD can have a tow truck to tow vehicles back to police impound, but not EMS. EMS in the real world does not do towing.
Okay.
Dan Summers.
Going back to like towing vehicles on the side of the road, I'm just curious if there will be any way for like a player to flag a vehicle, like in case they crash or something, if they're like running down the road to get parts or like gas, so it doesn't get towed during that time.
Well, I mean, that could be like exploitable, though. You can just do that for any car at any time, pretty much.
Yeah.
And you can let's say you're parking illegally or something like that, you can just flag it, log off, and it won't be towed. So there wouldn't really be a way to do that to make it like practically work.
Okay, I was just kind of curious.
The idea behind the car repair systems is the fact that a lot of people trolls with their cars, and they got a repair kit that just magically fixes their whole damn car. Well, with our system is you're gonna have to have an engine if you blow it, mess it up. God forbid you take a fuel tank out because it's gonna explode your car. But you literally, if you wreck your car, you need to call, a tow truck company, or if you're working for a business, you need to call, them, say, hey, the company car just broke down. You need to send a tow truck out here to, tow the vehicle, and you need to take it to a garage and actually get them to repair the vehicle so they can get you back on the road. So like roadside service, is pretty much, you need to call an emergency wrecker, or you call 911. Hey, I'm stuck out here. I can't get a hold of a tow truck. And then, someone from the police department is going to get your car and say, okay, it's going to cost you $500, but, where do you need your car dropped off? What mechanic do you want to take this to? And you drop your car off at that mechanic's parking lot or something.
Okay.
Let's see. Anybody else got a question?
I think Tyler
go
had a
ahead.
question as well.
Ted, go ahead.
What's the economy going to be like? Like, is $500 going to be a lot, or is it just going to be like a small amount?
everything is scaled down. Every price is going to be set by player. So if supply and demand for one item, obviously, they can skyrocket it up. There's not going to be a set price for, like an apple or anything of that nature. It's based on, someone goes out, picks the apples, and, goes to the store and says, okay, I want to sell this apple for $2. Or somebody says, I want to sell it for 50 cents. It's all based on the player of what things cost. But, cars and stuff, it's going to be, a certain level of expensive. Obviously, it's going to cost them so much to make a car, and in return, they're going to need to be able to sell it for profit, or obviously that company's not going to be able to stay in business and pay their people.
Okay, thanks.
All right, if nobody else has got any questions, we are going to wrap this up, and we'll go from there. Sam, you were the one that did the PD video, correct?
Yep.
Okay, I need to talk to you after this.
Yeah, sure thing.
All right, cool. Well, appreciate you guys coming and joining and talking with us, and hopefully we'll get some videos out soon so that you can see what's going on, and the guys that are not currently in alpha can see what's going on and get pumped up and all that good stuff. See ya, Mr. Bear Wise. Let's see, Sam.